Alrighty, yesterday was Monday, so you got a brand new set of DMR skills. I'm going to show how to solve each one of those skills. If you have a question, I will stop, excuse me, at the end of each question for you to ask those or to clarify if you need more information. Okay, here we go. This says, Mr. Kemper wants to buy hand sanitizer for all the kids to keep inside their desk. We have 738 students enrolled at Indian Creek, but 372 students are virtual and do not currently have a desk at school. How many bottles of hand sanitizer will Mr. Kemper need to buy so that all the students here at school has one for their desk? Well, in order to figure that out, we got to figure out how many students have a desk at school, because right now we do not know that. Sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on with my yawning today. All right, so we are starting out with 738 students. That's how many are at Indian Creek. We're going to subtract the 372 students who are not at Indian Creek. They're gone. Okay, that's going to tell us how many students are at Indian Creek. So are at IC. Okay, so we're getting rid of the students that are not so we can see what's left. Okay, 8 subtract 2 is 6. 3 tens subtract 7 tens is impossible. So we've got to regroup. We're going to borrow 10 tens from our hundreds, and we're going to add them to our tens place. So that now gives us 13 tens. Subtract 7 tens is 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 tens. 6 hundreds subtract 3 hundreds is 3 hundreds. So our total answer is there are 366 students at Indian Creek, so we need 366 bottles of hand sanitizer. What questions could I answer about that one? Yes, Steve Rogers.
So it's a story problem. Shouldn't it have an answer that isn't just us telling him how much he needs, but in a sentence?
Yes, that's why the correct answer is 366 bottles of hand sanitizer.
No, I thought it was Mr. Kemper will need to buy 366 bottles of hand sanitizer.
Oh, you're right. I apologize. It can be either one. I'm so sorry. You're right. Complete sentence answer. Good call, Steve Rogers, keeping me on my toes. All right. Next up, choose all this picture could represent. Do you guys need me to do it? Do you need me to do it? Do you need
No.
me to say,
We said no.
Yeah, you said no, but your work yesterday said yes. Okay. So you might have been telling me no, but your work was telling me yes. Choose all that this picture could represent. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3 pieces. That means our denominator is a 3. 2 of the pieces are yellow. This fraction is 2/3. Okay. All of those answers are 1/3 plus 1/3. The yellow plus the yellow. It is not 3/3. It is 2/3. More than half, yes. And you can tell that because half of a circle looks like this. And here's more of it. Less than half, no. If it is more than half, it can't also be less than half. And equal to half, no, it's more than half. So there you have it, folks, the 3 correct answers that you should have selected. Okay, now a point of notice. For whatever reason, we teachers cannot code Google to give 3 points for multiple answers. So if on your practice you only chose this one and this one, it would say that you got the whole thing wrong because you missed this one. On your DMR quizzes, when I am grading, I'm going to make this out of 3 points. Okay? So you'll be able to see that you got 2 of the 3 points. So your grade up top will change. Now, this time it didn't because I didn't catch it in time. But in the future, right up here, notice in this corner how it says 1 point. That's going to start saying 3 points. And if it says 3 points, that's a big hint for you that you should choose 3 answers. Okay? Test smarter, not harder. All right, folks? All right. Compute to find the answer. 3 ones minus 4 ones is impossible. You got to borrow. We're going to borrow a 10 and add it to our 3 ones. So now we have 13 ones. 13 ones minus 4 ones is 9 ones. 7 tens subtract 9 tens is impossible. We got to go regroup. We're going to add 10 to our 7 tens. So now we have 17 tens. 17 tens subtract 9 tens is 8 tens. 800 subtract 100 is 700. Your correct answer is 789. 11.
I got it done way quicker in my head because once I got the 9 and the 1s, I looked at all the other answers and saw that there was no 9. So I was like, it's 789.
11 is using his brain. Here's all the squigglies in his brain and they're growing. He's doing some mental math. That's what I like to hear. There's your brain stem and it's shooting all the messages to your brain. Wonderful. Good. Mental math is a good skill to have. All right. The above math term for the answer to the above equation is, this is a subtraction equation and we call that a difference. The answer to a subtraction equation is a difference. There's some math vocabulary. Questions on that? All right. Next up, compare the models. Choose the symbol that makes the comparison true. If this is a pizza and I'm super, super, super hungry, I would much rather have 1/5 of that pizza than I would rather have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1/12 of that pizza. Give me more pizza, y'all. So this is the symbol that you should have selected. It is a bigger piece. 12 is a bigger number, but that is not helpful to hungry people because that means that they had to share it 12 different ways instead of 5 ways. Questions? All right. Guys, my yawning is out of control and I don't know why. I took a nap yesterday and got full sleep. I'm so sorry. I might need water. That might be the problem. Aiden Hampton.
I forgot again why we should pick the list again. The
So
list.
take a look at the picture. Would you agree with me that there is more teal than there is tiny blue?
Yeah.
That's a bigger piece. The reason it's a bigger piece is, let's imagine this is a cookie and your mom says, Aiden, I'm going to give you a cookie, but you either got to share it with your 5 cousins or you got to go in the neighborhood and share it with all 12 kids. What are you going to do?
I'm going to pick 1 out of 5.
Right, because it's a bigger piece and you like cookies. So the more times you have to share, the more pieces you have to create, the smaller they're going to be.
Yeah.
Good. 11.
If you're about to go back to sleep, you got to throw virtual water at you.
What? Oh my gosh, if you're trying to wake me up, yes. Maybe you can invent that camera away. Yes, Leah.
Or another way, like if you can do it and you don't like this snack, you would rather choose the whole neighborhood instead of your cousins if you don't like that snack.
That's true. If you don't like it, like if it's broccoli, then you can be like, hey, all 12 of you, you want this? Because you want less broccoli. So that could work too. Very good. All righty. Frank, I'm going to change that name one more time and you're going to leave it for me. Okay. All right. Next up, choose all that are true about this number. See that word all? It wasn't underlined for you, so I wanted to make sure that you saw it because it's a big word. It's only 3 letters, but it means big things. Okay, here we go. All right. 712 is our number. In 712, is it true that there are more 10s than 1s? Our 10s is a 1. Our 1s is a 2. Nope, there's more to 1s. The expanded form of this number is 700, yes. Plus 10, yes. Plus 2, yes. Expanded form, 700s, 10s, and 1s. All right. The word form of this number is 702. This says 12, not 2. This equals 700s, yes. 110, yes. And 2 1s, yes. The 7 in this number has a value of 700. Yes. Beautiful. Now, again, I did not catch it, but I am going to start with today telling you how many correct answers are up here. This says 1 point. It should say 3 points because there are 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, remember, if you don't choose 3 and you only choose 2, it's going to say you got 0, and that's not right. You'll see that you got partial credit. Okay. All right, folks. This is some good review on some stuff that we have forgotten. All right. Yes, William. You are muted.
Why do almost all of them say 1 point?
So Miss Thaxton actually creates our DMRs, and she creates them for our team, which is super, super, super nice. And we just have different preferences on the way that we grade them. So I'm going to make some changes to the ones that she creates, but I just didn't catch it this time. My mistake and error. All right. All right, folks, we are getting ready to do another Jamboard, which I'm happy about. I was nervous about doing 2 in one day, but you guys did well. This morning, you guys stayed on your own slides. You navigated well. The work was on topic. It was appropriate. I was proud of you. So let's do it again, okay? Here's what it says. With your teacher, we're going to watch the teaching and review slides. Don't even try to click on this. I have it locked. You're going to complete your slide in the Jamboard with your group. You're going to go in a classmate's slide in the Jamboard and justify if they are correct using fraction vocabulary. So we're going to watch a video. You're going to do work. You're going to go grade each other's work using sticky notes, okay? First things first, let's take a look at our our learning goal. Here is your goal for today. Got to share the sound. There it is.
Today we are going to be continuing with comparing 2 fractions with the same numerator by reasoning about their size based on the same whole. We will be looking at fractions and creating also our own comparisons with the same numerator and also justifying our conclusions. We will be using our conclusions with our models using words such as numerator, conclusion, results, whole number, greater than, less than, unit fraction.
All right, there's our vocabulary. Here is an example of what you are going to do today.
Today we are going to be practicing comparing multiple fractions. Here in the middle, I have a fraction, and it is 2/5. And then I've got 4 fractions up here that I am going to sort based on where they fall in this comparison sentence. So you see, I've got a blank here, less than 2/5, which is less than blank. So on this side are going to be fractions that all of them are less than my 2/5 in the middle. So this on this side is going to be less than fractions. And then here, 2/5 is less than these fractions over here. So on this side, I'm going to be putting fractions that are greater than my 2/5. So this is how this comparison sentence chain works. And so that I know that I am doing my best and using what I know about fractions, I'm going to first think about what I know. I know that when the numerators are all the same, I'm going to look at the denominator. And I remember that saying that the larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. It's opposite of what I normally think. So I'm going to keep that in mind as I do this sort. And I'm going to put it down here just to remind myself. Here there is a link to our Fraction Bars website. So I'm going to start by opening that up and building 2/5. So here is that, and I'm going to build 2/5. So my denominator is going to be 5, and my numerator is going to be 2. So this is what I am comparing all of my fractions to. So I'm going to start with 2/6, and I'm going to build 2/6, and I'm going to compare it. If I look at my 2/6, I see that it is less than my 2/5. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to move my 2/6 to less than. My next fraction is 2/3. So I'm going to keep my 2/5 and get rid of that one. And I'm going to change this to 2/3 and compare it to my 2/5. I can tell that my 2/3 is definitely greater than my 2/5. So that means it goes over here under greater than. 2/5 is less than 2/3. If I come back here, I see that this is definitely less than this. I'm done with this one. I keep my 2/5 here because that's my middle fraction, and I want to build 2/4. So I come build 2/4 and I compare it here. I look and I see that 2/5 is definitely less than 2/4. So 2/4 is greater. So it also comes on this side. I'm done with that, so I get rid of that 2/4, and my last fraction is 2/8. So I'm going to build my 2/8 and compare it. 2/8 is less than my 2/5. So here, my 2/8 will come under here under less than. So now I've got lots of comparisons here, and I'm going to check it with what I already know. I said that the larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. So I will notice that my less than number fractions on this side all have the larger denominators. My smaller denominators are on the greater than side. 2, 3 are over here. Sorry, 3 and 4 are over here. And then 6 and 8 are down here on the smaller pieces, the less than. I could take this and I could make several different statements. I could take this and I could say that 2/6 is less than 2/5. I could also write another comparison statement. I could say that 2/5 is less than one of these. Let's pick 2/4. I could also use this and use one from here and one from here and say that 2/8 is less than 2/3. And all of these statements would be true. If I look at them, the smaller fraction has the larger denominator. 6 is larger than 5. 5 is larger than 4. 8 is larger than 3. So after completing this sort, I can come up with a lot of different comparison statements using these 5 fractions, going from smallest to largest.
Okay. Any questions about that, about comparing more than 2 fractions at a time? Seen that, less than and greater than. Yes, Aiden Hampton.
So now I understand why she said the larger the denominator, the smaller the piece, is because less than is sometimes greater than the most.
The smaller, yeah, so less than in terms of the number in the denominator would be greater than a fraction with a bigger denominator. Great. Leah.
So will our activity will be exactly the same as this?
Very similar. Yes, very, very, very similar. Okay. All right, so let's talk about what you are getting ready to do. What you are getting ready to do is to go to a Jamboard, okay? When you get to that Jamboard, and don't click on it yet because I still have it blocked for you hooligans, it's going to look like this, okay? It says SUSE sort to compare. The breakout rooms are right up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, okay? What you're going to do is solve the problem that's on your slide, and each slide is different. I have shown one group, the imaginary group of Miss Sousa and Miss Sousa, who created a model to show their work, okay? Step 1 is sort the fractions to make a true comparison. So the imaginary group did that. Step 2 is create a model. Here's their model to prove that your answers are correct. Now here's where we're going to check it. Step 3 is to go to someone else's slide and use a sticky note to justify if they are correct or not. Let's take a look at this. They are telling me here that 1/3 is greater than or bigger than 1/4. So let's take a look. Here's my 1/3. Here's my 1/4. Uh-oh. Is this group right? No. So we are not going to grab their work and fix it for them. What we are going to do is use a sticky note to justify if they are correct or not. So after I finish my work, I'm going to say, hey guys, 1/3 is a bigger piece than 1/4. Look at your model. And then I'm going to respectfully leave that sticky note by their work. I am not going to cover up their work so that it can't be seen because other groups need to give them feedback. I am not going to move their work so that other groups think they got it right when they didn't. I'm just going to put my sticky note so they can think about it and be done. Okay? So that's what your activity is going to look like as a whole. First, we're going to do steps 1 and 2. Step 1 says, sort the fraction to make a true comparison. So you and your group will decide where these fractions go. Then you will create a model to prove that you are correct. I am fine if your group creates a model using the shape tools, or if your group creates a model using the Fraction Toy Theater link down here too. Either way. Questions about what you're getting ready to do in your group? Questions about what you're going to do in your group? Yes, Terrence.
Is it new groups?
Yeah, it won't be the same as this morning.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? All right, I'm going to get those groups set up. Okay, the second time that I sent you in there, got much better at using math vocabulary. Okay, I'm going to turn off permissions here. Change, you can view it only. Awesome. Okay. I also think that 4/5 is greater than 4/8. Okay, so they're using vocabulary there to explain. I like this here. Someone said you did a nice job with the numerator and denominator, but next time draw a better line. Okay, so their model is a little bit confusing. Saw over here, you didn't shade the fraction. Someone said, hey, you didn't shade the 1/4. That's a problem. Good vocabulary of shade. Over here, you did a nice job because it figured out the denominator tells you which is greater or lesser. You did great using the symbols. That's a math vocabulary word to create the lower denominator. Good. Okay. Math vocabulary in our explanations, people. That's what we're looking for. Okay. This is not a compliment time, although I like compliments, but it's not what we're doing. Okay. Before I release you to lunch, because we're a little bit late, let's get to it. Independently, you're going to complete work that looks very similar to this on Seesaw. So when you click on Add Response, you're going to see slides 2 and 3 are a sort from largest or smallest to largest. You're going to justify your comparison with a model and greater than, less than vocabulary. Not I did it, yay me, vocab, okay? There is a video on slide 4 for you to watch. Then you do what the video said on slides 5 and 6. So if you log in at office hours and say, I don't know what to do, I'm going to say, did you watch the video? And if you say no, I'm going to say bye. Okay, the video is there for a reason. And then you'll follow on through 7 and 8, and there's a game on slide 9. It's very simple. When you click on your add response, your work is right there and it tells you exactly what to do. Okay. Success criteria right here. Here's the directions. If you don't understand, here's a video explaining. Same thing. Here's the directions. You don't understand, here's a video explaining. Slide 4 is a video. Watch it. It is an example of what to do on slides 5 and 6. And again, directions. You don't understand, video. Slides 7 and 8, same thing. Directions. You don't understand, video. Directions. Don't understand, video. Slide 9 is a game. Click the link. There are 2 games, a 1, a 2 that we would like for you to play. Slide 10, and here's where you use that math vocabulary to explain because, like you just did on your Jamboard, vocab, okay? Those directions are on the slides for you to see right there. The directions are in the view instructions for you to read or listen to. Zero excuse to not turn in completed work when you have the directions in 3 places, okay? Zero excuse. All righty, folks, that is all I got for you. Yes, Miss Bram is putting up a reminder, Elijah and Frank, of your math time. Other than that, you're good to go. See ya.